Circumstances. Your first year, what kind of a learning process and learning trajectory did you go through this year that you might not have anticipated last September?
I don't think anything out of the ordinary. You deal with the circumstances, what's put in front of you, and you proceed business as usual, and that was the approach every single day.
Jacque, was this a frustrating season for you your first year, dealing with the injuries and obviously the losing?
I wouldn't let myself get to the level of saying frustration, no. Did we anticipate having the injuries that we had and the multiple lineups throughout the course of the season? No. Was it a challenge? Yes. But frustration, wouldn't use those words. I think overall we got better as a team, and that was a goal that we set out at the beginning of the year.
Jacque, some of your young guys were saying they wasted no time. They already started talking last night about we're going to hold each other accountable, we're going to push each other this summer. And how big of a summer is it for this franchise?
Well, I think rewarding-wise, that's one of the things that we take away from this year is the character of the individuals that we had in the locker room, the fact that they would be talking already in those terms. This offseason is big in the sense of development and guys getting better and being ready to contribute when we start up again as a unit.
There's a theory that young players between their first year and second year, that's when they make the biggest jump. Is that something you found to be true? Or?
I just think you've put yourself in a position where you can learn from your mistakes, and it's a challenge, though. You know, these guys, a lot of them haven't even had an off-season as a professional before. And the part that they'll be able to lean on is they played minutes this year, and they know how hard it is to compete in this league and how hard it is to win in this league. And one of the things as young people, that the challenge that they have is, am I working hard enough in the off-season? Is it enough? And that's a challenge. But I think because of the minutes that they had on the floor, they know how hard it is to win this league.
Is there a unifying message that you expressed to your guys today in your individual meetings?
No, it was, for me, I've kept communication with every single guy throughout the course of the season. More than anything, for me, I take this opportunity to check in. Guys' plans in the off season, their families, how they're doing. I thank them for letting me coach them and the effort that they gave me throughout the course of the year. So my exit interviews, I guess you can call those, more informal and just the way I do things.
Was this season about what you expected? Any surprises for you overall in the first year?
You know, the onset, I talked about being consistent and being prepared, and I think those two things, me personally, that question about me personally and my job that I did, I think that was my approach and put me in a position to lead these guys. And that's something that I'll continue to lean on. But I don't think there was anything that caught me extremely off guard that as a staff we weren't prepared for.
What do you want to see out of your guys, not necessarily your own eyes, but what do you want your guys to do between now and October 1st?
Well, the goal is for them to get their minds and bodies decompressed and ready to get back after it and get better as individuals. And that'll ultimately help our team. But they have to be better players when we see them again in October than they are now.
Are you happy with the nucleus you have of older and younger, veteran and younger players? You see, when you look at Mo and Aflalo and Jameer and Tobias, obviously, and Nick's development, do you think you've got a nucleus here that you can really, really build on?
Well, I think we have definitely more than a few individuals who will continue to contribute and have been unbelievable in our locker room. Whether you want to call that a core, a nucleus, it's the makeup of a team, and we'll continue to add pieces and continue to add guys of high character and guys who want to be here.
You've had some deep runs as an assistant the last few years. strange not being in the playoffs? Disappointing?
The thing is, I can refer back to a lot of times in my career. That's one of the advantages that I have. And there were 2 years that I didn't make the playoffs. And I remember watching a lot of playoff basketball during that time. And to rejuvenate you, you get recharged. Because you see other guys playing. And it's a great challenge and a great area where you get pushed and ready for the next year.
Is that a realistic goal for you, 2013-14?
No goals set for us. We'll see what individuals we have in our locker room, what our team is comprised of, and what kind of dress when we get there.
Jacque, specifically with the veteran guys, how many of them do you expect to be back next year?
That's really not an area for me. That's more Rob's questioning. I'm a coach to the guys that he has for me in the locker room. I always keep that approach. Will we have communication? Yes. And decision making together? Yes. But we'll have a group of guys that want to be in the locker room for sure.
Coach, do you think this was a good first year for the transition? Mediocre first year, bad first year?
It was the first year of new people, new locker room, new coaches, new management. And we set out at the beginning of the year to be better individuals and better team at the end of the year than we were at the beginning. And I think that goal was accomplished.
What kind of a grade would you give yourself and the team overall play?
You know, it's funny. My kids coming home with grades these days, and I look at them and I ask them how they think they did, and just go about my business a little bit, and I'm going to take that same approach. We set out, we had goals, and I think at the end of the day our players got better, and we're going to go with that.
Your first off season as a head coach, do you have plans? How are you going to decompress and before you dive back into it? Because you've been diving back into it since the day you got here.
I'm probably going to grow my goatee like yours. That's the first thing for me. I probably want to shave for a couple of weeks and spend a little time with my kids. That'll be the next thing, and so that'll probably lead me till Saturday or Sunday, and I'll be watching basketball.
Coach, how do your responsibilities vary now as a head coach as opposed to just an assistant coach?
Well, I think overall the leadership continues in the off season as far as with my assistant coaches, as far as keeping in contact with guys, making sure that we're ready to go when this thing starts up again. So the beauty of this game is, you know, it just isn't in season anymore. It's you know, off season, which now is in season, off season. So good challenge for us going forward.
How much of a role will you have working with Rob going forward?
Our communication will continue to be as it has thus far, which is extremely good. But ultimately, he's the general manager and I'm the coach. But we'll continue to talk and have great communication with each other.
But you will have some input?
We'll have great communication with each other. I'll say that part of it. And we both respect each other, and we both listen to each other.
Jacque, Rob is a guy who talks about being humble and not pounding his own chest. But can you talk about, I mean, he went out and found Vucevic. He went out and got Tobias when nobody saw those guys. Can you talk about the job that he did getting you talent?
Well, he's done an unbelievable job, and hopefully he continues to do so. And he is a joy to work with, which is you know, something you want to say in this league. When the coach and general manager have a relationship where you can talk about basketball, you can talk about life, you can check in with each other, and it's genuine. And so this first year with us being together has been unbelievable. It's been really great to work with him.
Several of your guys, like Nick when he's away for his national team, Aaron, Gather will spend a lot of time in LA, etc. Jameer, Philly, won't be coming in this gym day in, day out over the offseason. How often will you be in touch with them, whether it's informal, maybe shooting a text message, give them a call?
That was one common theme probably from our exit interviews, is that I made sure each guy, I had their correct number, and that they had my correct number, and my phone's available 24/7 for each and every guy. And that was said to each and every guy, and I really mean that. And we'll have informal conversations and text. I guess that's the beauty of text these days. And today won't be the last time they hear from me until October, that's for sure.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.